If you've ever bought strawberries only to have them go bad within a few days, then this video is for you. We will be covering everything you need to know about how to properly store and take care of your strawberries so they stay fresh for as long as possible. We'll also share some useful tips and tricks that will make your life easier when it comes to handling these delicate fruits. Before we begin, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we upload new videos. Now let's get started. Strawberries are a delicious and nutritious fruit that many people enjoy eating fresh or using in various recipes. However, they can be quite delicate and require special care to store and handle properly. Fortunately, there are several simple tips that can help ensure your strawberries stay fresh and flavorful for as long as possible. The first step in storing strawberries is to choose fresh, ripe fruit that has not yet begun to spoil. Look for berries that are fully colored and firm to the touch, avoiding any that are bruised or soft. Once you've selected your strawberries, wash them thoroughly before storing to remove any dirt or debris. Gently scrub the berries with cool water and a soft brush, taking care not to damage the fruit. After washing, pat the strawberries dry with paper towels and remove any leaves or stems that may have been left behind. This will help prevent mold growth and extend their shelf life. Now that your strawberries are clean and prepped, it's time to decide on the best storage method. For short-term storage, meaning you plan to use them within the next few days, you can store unwashed strawberries at room temperature in a single layer. Make sure they're not overcrowded and place them in a well-ventilated area away from direct sunlight. If you live in a warm climate, you can refrigerate your strawberries for longer storage. Just remember that cold temperatures can affect the texture and flavor of the fruit, making them less enjoyable to eat. To minimize this, wrap the berries tightly in plastic wrap or place them in a container with a tight-fitting lid. Before refrigerating, however, whole strawberries can last up to 2 weeks if stored properly. For even longer storage, consider freezing your strawberries whole or sliced. Freezing can help preserve their flavor and nutrients for an extended period. When freezing whole strawberries, it's important to first rinse and hull the berries. Then pat them dry before placing them in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Once frozen, transfer the berries to a freezer-safe bag or container for longer storage. Alternatively, you can freeze sliced strawberries by spreading the slices in a single layer on a baking sheet and allowing them to freeze. You can then transfer the frozen slices to a container for storage. Just remember that frozen strawberries are best used in cooked dishes or smoothies as their texture will become mushy when thawed. In addition to these storage methods, there are several other tips that can help keep your strawberries fresh and flavorful. To prevent mold growth and extend their shelf life, you can sprinkle a small amount of sugar over the berries when storing them. The sugar will help draw out moisture from the fruit, creating an environment that is less hospitable to mold. Another option is to mix the berries with a small amount of lemon juice or vinegar. The acidity will help prevent mold growth and preserve the flavor of the strawberries. Just be sure to use organic lemon juice or vinegar, as the chemicals in non-organic products can potentially harm your strawberries. It's also important to be aware of common signs of spoilage in strawberries. These include mold, soft spots, and a sour smell or taste. If you notice any of these signs, it's best to discard the affected berries immediately, as they may be unsafe to consume. Additionally, if your strawberries begin to develop a white or grayish coating, don't panic. This is a harmless substance called cam yeast, which grows on the surface of stored fruit. While it's not harmful to eat, many people find it unappealing. Fortunately, removing the berries from the storage container and placing them in a different spot can usually prevent cam yeast from growing back. There are also some signs that your strawberries have gone bad and should be thrown away. These include mold, a slimy texture, or an unpleasant smell. If you notice any of these signs, it's best to discard the berries immediately, as they may be unsafe to eat. Additionally, if your strawberries begin to develop a white or grayish coating, don't panic. This is a harmless substance called cam yeast, which grows on the surface of stored fruit. While it's not harmful to eat, many people find it unappealing. Fortunately, removing the berries from the storage container and placing them in a different spot can usually prevent cam yeast from growing back. Now that you know how to store and identify fresh strawberries, let us explore some additional tips and tricks that can make working with these berries easier and more enjoyable. When it comes to cleaning strawberries, there are a few techniques that can make the process quicker and more efficient. One helpful tip is to use a strainer or colander to rinse the berries rather than washing them in a bowl or container. This will help prevent the strawberries from getting damaged and make it easier to remove any debris or dirt. Another option is to fill a sink or large bowl with water and gently submerge the strawberries while gently stirring them with a wooden spoon or spatula. This will help loosen any dirt or debris and make it easier to remove. Finally, you can also use a salad spinner to wash and dry your strawberries. Simply place the berries in the spinner, add some water, and let it run to remove any dirt or debris. Then switch to the dryer mode and let the spinner dry the strawberries before storing or using them. When it comes to removing the tops from strawberries, there are also a few useful tips to keep in mind. Using a sharp blade or pruners can make the process much easier. Simply hold the strawberry firmly in one hand and use the other hand to guide the blade or pruners as you cut off the tops. Another option is to use a strawberry huller, which is a tool specifically designed to make it easier to remove the tops from strawberries. If you're dealing with a large quantity of strawberries, it can be helpful to invest in a strawberry sorter. This is a tool that can help you quickly sort through your berries, separating out any that are too small or too large to use for your intended purpose. This can save you time and make the process much easier, especially if you plan on using your strawberries in a recipe that requires a specific size. Lastly, if you want to make your strawberries last even longer, you can try dehydrating them. Dehydrating your strawberries can help preserve their flavor and nutrients while extending their shelf life for several months. To do this, simply slice the strawberries and spread the slices in a single layer on dehydrator trays. Then set the dehydrator to 135 degrees Fahrenheit and dehydrate the slices until they're dry and leathery, which should take about 8 to 12 hours. Once the dehydration process is complete, you can store the dried strawberries in an airtight container in a cool, dark place for up to 6 months. You can then rehydrate the strawberries before using them in your favorite recipes, or simply enjoy them as a healthy and delicious snack. In conclusion, proper care and storage are essential to ensure your strawberries stay fresh and flavorful for as long as possible. By following the tips outlined in this video, you can enjoy delicious, nutritious strawberries for longer. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment below if you found it helpful. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more useful tips and tricks. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.